How much longer will you wait to demand the best of yourself? That is the question Marcus Aurelius posed in his book Meditations, and it continues to resonate through time. We all know we have immense potential. We understand that there are things we must do daily to become the best version of ourselves. But when will we truly begin? Are we waiting for a perfect moment that will never come? As the transition from 2024 to 2025 marks the closing of one chapter and the opening of another, it is a time for reflection on what has been and what lies ahead. It is the perfect opportunity not only to set vague goals but also to cultivate habits that will shape our entire lives. As Epictetus once emphasized, how long are you going to wait before you demand the best of yourself? Stoic philosophy can be summarized in just 2 words. Show up and resist. Show up to act with intention and purpose. Resist being swept away by old habits or the temptation to procrastinate. Life, like an uncharted journey, unfolds before us, with each day offering a new opportunity. And 2025 is the moment to begin, not with complex theories or lofty promises, but with practical steps rooted in Stoic philosophy. Here are 10 simple habits that can serve as keys to stepping into the new year stronger and more resilient. Start with the smallest actions today, for they are what will ultimately define who you become. Habit number 1. Create a routine. A day without a plan is like a blank canvas, left to be covered by random splashes of color. On the other hand, a carefully constructed routine helps shape your life into a meaningful masterpiece. Habits are not rigid chains that restrict freedom, but rather flexible frameworks that guide you to use your time and energy effectively. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once emphasized, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." These words are not only a warning but also a reminder of the value of organizing and designing your daily life. Imagine starting your day without a clear plan. Your mind becomes like a boat adrift on the open sea, easily swayed by any current. An unexpected call, unimportant errands, or the fatigue of not knowing what to tackle first. Habits act as a compass, steering your focus toward what truly matters. However, this doesn't mean forcing yourself into rigid molds. Habits should be built upon a deep understanding of yourself, your energy rhythms, goals, and personal values. Seneca pointed out that a well-organized day delivers greater efficiency and value. When you dedicate your mornings to reflection or creative work, you not only take advantage of the golden hours but also set the tone for the rest of the day. It's like a conductor beginning a symphony with the right tempo, leading the orchestra into harmony. Well-structured habit not only helps you get things done, but also nurtures your spirit and body. Take Sarah's story as an example. A freelance writer, she often felt lost in the unlimited flexibility of her schedule. Without fixed working hours, she frequently procrastinated until deadlines loomed, leading to stress and burnout. One day, she decided to adopt a Stoic approach to her life. Sarah started with a simple schedule, waking up at 6 a.m. each morning, taking a 30-minute walk to refresh her mind, dedicating the first 2 hours of her day to writing, her most creative period, dividing her afternoons between meetings and administrative tasks, spending 30 minutes in the evenings reading or journaling to reflect on her day. After a month, Sarah noticed not only an increase in her productivity, but also a significant improvement in her mental well-being. Her routine became more than just a time management tool. It evolved into a philosophy of life, helping her regulate her emotions and maintain a balance between work and personal life. To make habits truly effective, ask yourself, when during the day are you most productive? Some people are at their most creative early in the morning, when the mind is fresh and quiet. Others feel their energy peak in the afternoon. Don't force yourself to follow someone else's pattern. Find your own golden hours and prioritize them for your most important tasks. In addition, a good routine requires balance. Don't just focus on work. Make time to care for your body and soul. This could mean 15 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of reading, or simply enjoying a delightful dinner with your family. These small moments nurture your spirit and help recharge your energy. Let 2025 be the year you take charge of your days by building the right habits. Habits not only help you manage chaos but also bring peace and productivity. Don't let life decide who you are. Let your habits guide you, and you will paint a life full of inspiration and meaning. Habit No. 2. Free up precious resources. Time, energy, and attention are the most valuable resources we possess, yet they are often wasted unconsciously. Stoic philosophy reminds us that life is not infinite, and the things we invest in, whether time or emotions, must be carefully considered. If you find yourself constantly exhausted by endless arguments, toxic relationships, or meaningless goals imposed by others, it's time to practice one of the core principles of Stoicism: reclaiming your precious resources. The classic example of reclaiming resources comes from Tim Ferriss, author of the renowned book, The 4-Hour Workweek. Early in his career, Ferriss received numerous enticing invitations to attend conferences and major events, golden opportunities to expand his network and enhance his personal brand. However, after deep reflection, he realized that participating in these events could lead to burnout and slow the progress of his most critical project, the book he was writing. Instead of chasing after these glittering opportunities, Ferriss chose to devote all his time, energy, and focus to finishing his manuscript. Working from his apartment, he set strict rules to eliminate unnecessary distractions. This decision not only enabled Ferriss to publish a groundbreaking work on productivity, but also changed the way millions of people approach life and work. Ferriss's story demonstrates the power of eliminating non-essential factors to channel all resources into a truly meaningful goal. This intense focus not only brought him success, but also allowed him to unlock his optimal potential. Have you ever felt your life change from a single conversation with someone positive? Positive individuals don't just inspire, they help you see yourself more clearly and recognize the boundaries you can break through. Habit No. 3. Associate with people who make you better. In life, the people we choose to accompany us not only influence the way we think and act, but also shape the person we will become. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once emphasized, associate with those who will make a better man of you. This is not merely advice, but a guiding principle that helps us recognize that our environment and the people within it are the soil that nurtures personal growth. Imagine this. If you plant your seeds in a plot full of rocks and weeds, can they grow strong and healthy? The answer is clearly no. Humans are no different. If you surround yourself with negative, complaining individuals or those prone to procrastination, it's easy to get caught up in that energy. Conversely, when you associate with people who radiate optimism, motivation, and positive values, you'll feel encouraged to rise and improve yourself. Stoic philosophy has always emphasized that choosing friends is not a random act but one that requires intentionality. Not all relationships are worth keeping. Building a Stoic circle, a network of like-minded, inspiring, and mutually supportive individuals, is how you ensure that your environment remains fertile ground for growth. This is not an easy piece of advice to follow, but it's a journey worth pursuing. Consider a simple story from everyday life. One evening, you meet two different groups of friends. The first group spends the entire evening complaining about work, blaming others, and criticizing everything around them. The second group, on the other hand, discusses interesting books, shares creative ideas, or talks about new things they've learned. How would you feel after that evening? Most of us would feel drained and demotivated after spending time with the first group, but energized and inspired after being with the second. This vividly demonstrates how the people you associate with can either elevate or diminish your life energy. In fact, reflect on your own life. Who motivates you to act positively? Who constantly pulls you back into old, negative habits? This awareness will help you reevaluate the relationships that are essential and those you need to let go of. Let 2025 be a milestone year for you to rebuild and nurture truly meaningful relationships. Seek out people who inspire and encourage you to push beyond your limits. They could be friends who love books, enjoy discussing new ideas, or simply view life with a positive spirit. Ask yourself, who in your life is making you better, and who is holding you back? Don't hesitate to share your story or experiences in the comments section. How have you changed when surrounded by positive people? Do you have your own Stoic circle? Share your thoughts and inspire others with your journey. Habit No. 4. Say no to the inessential. In a world filled with choices, temptations, and constant demands, saying no is no longer merely a reaction. It's a superpower that helps us protect what truly matters. A strong and timely no is the silent declaration of someone who takes ownership of their life, a statement of self-respect and personal dignity. But why has the ability to reject the unnecessary become more critical than ever, especially in the context of 2025? This is a time when energy and time are among our most valuable resources. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and great Roman emperor, once wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or more accurately, do what's essential, what the logos of a social being requires, and in the requisite way." This advice holds true not only in philosophy but also in the reality of daily life. The unnecessary, be it meaningless meetings, unworthy commitments, or chasing superficial glitz, quietly drains the precious time and energy we could otherwise devote to pursuing our core values. Ask yourself, how many times have you felt stressed because you accepted an invitation that wasn't right for you? How often have you been caught up in a series of busy but ultimately meaningless tasks? Practicing Marcus Aurelius's philosophy doesn't mean giving up everything. It means learning to be selective. Pause and ask yourself, is this necessary? Simple question, yet powerful enough to transform the way we live. Saying no to unnecessary things is not about rejecting everything. It's about creating space for what truly matters. Every time we say no, we affirm our right to choose. This also means selectively saying ayes, dedicating time to building meaningful relationships, investing in personal growth, and pursuing passions with focused intensity. Take the story of Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in the world. When asked about the secret to his success, he replied, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." Buffett understands that success doesn't come from doing everything, but from choosing to do the right things. He declines most investment opportunities that don't align with his goals, allowing him to focus on those few opportunities where his time and energy can create the greatest value. To adopt this habit in 2025, start by reassessing your current commitments. Which tasks, relationships, or activities truly contribute to your goals and values? Conversely, what drains your energy without adding meaning? By eliminating busywork and empty conversations, you'll feel as though an invisible weight has been lifted off your shoulders. In 2025, cultivate intentional refusal as a skill. Ask yourself, does this align with my values? Does it bring me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, stand firm in your refusal. Remember, every time you say no, you are protecting yourself from distractions and meaningless pursuits. This isn't easy, but through this difficulty, we learn to master our emotions and maintain our self-respect. Saying no is not about rejecting the world. It is about honoring what truly holds significance in your life. Perhaps that is the most valuable lesson Stoic philosophy offers to those living in the modern age. Habit No. 5. Stop fearing change. Change is like fierce ocean waves. You cannot stop them, but you can learn how to ride each one to weather the storm. If you resist, you'll be swept away. But if you embrace it, you'll discover that those very waves are propelling you farther than you ever thought possible. Life is a series of constant transformations, and fearing or avoiding them only traps us in a cycle of helplessness and limitations. Instead of viewing change as a threat, see it as an opportunity. An opportunity to grow, learn, and experience new things. Every change is an invitation to step out of your comfort zone. A place where everything feels familiar, but is also laden with monotony. It is in moments of uncertainty and novelty that we find our deepest growth. Whether it's learning a new skill, starting an ambitious project, or simply facing what we once avoided, change is where we flourish. Take Alan's story as an example. Alan was someone who dreaded change. He loved the stability and security of his office job, where every day felt like a familiar routine. Then, an unexpected event occurred. His company was restructured, and he was forced to leave his job. Faced with this unwanted change, Alan initially panicked and felt defeated. However, he decided to try something new: pottery, a hobby he had neglected during his busy years. Day by day, Alan discovered that molding clay not only helped him relax, but also taught him valuable lessons about flexibility and patience. Gradually, he opened a small shop, which later blossomed into a well-known brand. Looking back, Alan realized that what seemed like a major setback was actually the springboard for a new journey, one filled with passion and meaning. Stoic philosophy teaches us that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Let 2025 be the year you welcome change with courage and adaptability. Find ways to thrive even under challenging conditions. Like a tree bending in the wind, flexibility and adaptability will make you stronger than ever. Habit No. 6. Give yourself the order to stop. The story of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States, is a powerful testament to self-discipline. For over 40 years, Eisenhower was addicted to cigarettes, smoking up to 4 packs a day. It seemed like an unbreakable habit. However, when his doctor warned him about the health risks, he made a decisive choice to quit immediately, without delay or excuses. Eisenhower acted with unyielding willpower, clearly illustrating Epictetus's teaching. No man is free who is not master of himself. This story isn't just about quitting smoking. It symbolizes a profound Stoic principle, the ability to control and master oneself. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom is not liberation from the external world, but release from internal constraints. As Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." These constraints might be bad habits, laziness, or even negative thoughts, but with enough courage, we can free ourselves by issuing a firm command: stop. Take a deep look at your life. What are you struggling with? Is it the habit of endlessly scrolling through social media without achieving anything? Perhaps it's procrastination that keeps you from starting important projects, or maybe it's clinging to negative thoughts that drain your energy. The key is not how long you've been stuck, but whether you're ready to change. In 2025, give yourself the opportunity to take control of your destiny by starting with self-mastery. However, change is never easy. Recognizing the negative impact of a habit is only the first step. What truly makes a difference is the ability to act decisively. Don't let change remain just an intention. Sometimes, the best path is to act immediately, as Eisenhower did. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. The moment to change is now. To apply this to your life, try a simple exercise. Write down a bad habit you know you need to change. List all the ways this habit is holding back your growth. Command yourself, stop. There's no need to wait for tomorrow, next week, or next month. Just act now with determination. The journey to mastering oneself is a personal challenge, but it is also the greatest opportunity for growth. 2025 is not just a new year, it's a chance to overcome your limitations. Remember, the power to change doesn't come from anywhere else but within you. Once you learn how to command yourself, nothing can stand in your way. Habit No. 7. Stop letting anxiety rule over you. The storm of anxiety is not caused by external events, but by the waves surging from within, stirring your emotions and leaving you disoriented. Many people compare anxiety to an invisible shadow, constantly following you and whispering worst-case scenarios about the future, things that might happen, but often never do. Ultimately, anxiety holds no inherent power. Its strength comes from us, those who allow it to dominate their minds. The first step to overcoming anxiety is to take ownership of your emotions. Look directly at the worry in your mind and ask yourself, is this real or is it just an invisible fear? More often than not, we confuse what is truly happening with what we fear might happen. For example, you might worry about an important presentation, imagining scrutinizing eyes and harsh criticism. In reality, those harsh critics exist only in your imagination. Recognizing this robs anxiety of its power to control you. Try using mindfulness to dispel the fog of anxiety. When fear starts to take over, stop, take a deep breath, and focus on the present moment. Feel each breath, every bit of air filling your lungs. This helps calm your mind and prevents the storm of anxiety from overwhelming your reasoning. This tranquility isn't just temporary, it's a habit you can cultivate to face any challenge. Anxiety is never a solution. It's like a rocking chair. You can move back and forth, but you'll ultimately stay in the same place. Worry only drains and paralyzes you, offering no practical value. Instead of letting anxiety control you, turn it into a signal to act. If there's something you can do to solve the problem, act. If not, let it go. Wisdom lies in knowing your limits and accepting what cannot be changed. As we step into 2025, commit to freeing yourself from worry. Remember, the only storm you need to overcome is the one within you. When you master your mind, you'll step into the new year with a steady heart and a clear mind, ready to face whatever comes your way. Ultimately, you can choose to let anxiety rule you, or you can choose to live freely. Marcus Aurelius left us a priceless message. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Don't let worry prevent you from living a meaningful life. What about you? What worries you most in life? Share your journey in the comments or leave a comment saying, "Practice mindfulness." If you're committed to reclaiming peace of mind and keeping anxiety from ruling your life. Habit No. 8. Do something difficult. In the fleeting and challenging moments of life, the hardest part is often not confronting external difficulties, but conquering the limitations within ourselves. Seneca, one of the great philosophers of Stoicism, once chose a symbolic action, plunging into the icy waters of the Tiber River. This act was not merely a test of physical endurance, but a powerful declaration, "I am in charge." It was a simple yet profound action because it affirmed the human ability to control emotions and reactions, one of the core principles of Stoic philosophy. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Epictetus reminds us that in life, what matters is not what happens to us, but how we respond to it. Voluntarily doing difficult things, as Seneca did, is not about proving ourselves to others, but proving to ourselves that willpower and mental strength always transcend any obstacle. But why should we do difficult things in a world full of convenience and ease? People are gradually becoming lazy when faced with challenges. However, true growth does not come from the comfort zone. When you step into things that make you uncomfortable, your body and mind are forged, and the flame of self-assertion and inner strength is ignited. Doing difficult things is not simply about survival. It is an act that shows you have the courage to grow. For example, choosing to take a cold shower on a winter morning is not to test your body, but to train your willpower. Or deciding to learn a new skill, such as public speaking, is not because of societal pressure, but because you want to overcome the fear within yourself. David Goggins, a former U.S. Navy SEAL and world-renowned ultra-endurance athlete, is a vivid testament to overcoming personal limits. Starting from a childhood full of hardship, abuse and ridicule due to his weight, Goggins decided to do what few dared, push his body and mind to the harshest limits. He forced himself to run 100 miles within 24 hours, something he had never done before. Throughout the long journey of pain and exhaustion, he did not give up. He said, "I don't run to win. I run to conquer myself." Goggins' story has become an inspiration to millions around the world because it proves one thing: when you do hard things, you don't just survive, you grow and conquer yourself. We don't need to become Goggins or Seneca to learn how to do hard things. Sometimes, the small challenges in life can serve as your own cold water, such as waking up an hour earlier every day to read or exercise, confronting your fear of communication by actively speaking up in meetings or classes, taking cold showers every morning to train your endurance and willpower, or learning a new skill that you always thought you couldn't do, like playing a musical instrument or studying a foreign language. Taking on challenges isn't about accomplishing a specific task, but about overcoming the instinct to avoid difficulties, to prove to yourself that you are in control of your life. In 2025, choose to do something difficult. It doesn't have to be grand, just something that pushes you out of your comfort zone enough to feel the strength of your inner will. When you face challenges calmly and proactively, you will realize that in adversity, you don't just survive, you thrive and become greater. Habit No. 9. Come back to rhythm. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote in Meditations, "When you have trouble getting out of bed in the morning, remember that your defining characteristic, what defines a human being, is to work with others." He understood that humans are not perfect, but the ability to rise after every fall is the true testament to one's inner strength. We have all had our own falls. It could be skipping a morning workout due to exhaustion or failing to achieve a major career goal. But consider the story of J.K. Rowling, who once sank deep into failure, not only losing her job and her marriage but also relying on social welfare to survive. During those dark times, she could have given up and let the music of her life fall silent, but she didn't. She chose to return. She wrote every day, despite her poverty. The pages of Harry Potter came to life with persistence, as though she embraced life's erratic rhythm, and from there, created a masterpiece that earned the world's admiration. You are no different. If one day you feel tired and skip an important habit like reading, exercising, or meditating, don't be too hard on yourself. Remind yourself, it's just an off day. I'll get back on track tomorrow. The philosopher Epictetus once emphasized, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. A small failure does not define who you are. How you respond to that failure is what truly matters. Ask yourself, am I blaming myself for a small shortcoming? Or will I accept it as part of the journey and gently return to my familiar rhythm? Look at professional athletes. They don't stop when they miss a training session. They simply resume their training the next day. Each time this happens, their perseverance strengthens just a little more. Persistence and self-compassion are the keys to moving forward. And you know what? Each new day is like a blank canvas waiting for your dedicated brushstrokes. A small step each day, a small action can bring you back into rhythm and take you closer to the best version of yourself. Don't see mistakes as failures. Consider them necessary pauses in a long piece of music. What matters is that you keep playing and keep painting the picture of your life. In the end, when you find your rhythm again, you'll feel lighter, stronger, and no longer afraid of other off days. As a promising suggestion for the final habit, start small. Sometimes, every great success begins with the smallest steps. Let's explore this subtle key together to unlock significant changes in your life. Are you ready? Listen to the music within you, note by note, beat by beat, and start again today. Habit No. 10. Start small. We often set grand, distant goals and confidently believe that with just one giant leap, our lives will transform. Yet, the failure to maintain motivation leaves us exhausted, discouraged, and eventually retreating. The Stoics understood this thousands of years ago and shared an unchanging truth. Great change is built from small, intentional actions. Zeno, the father of Stoicism, once said, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing." A journey of 1,000 miles cannot begin without the first step, and it is these small steps, no matter how simple, that hold the key to unlocking great achievements. George Washington cherished the Scottish proverb, "Many mickles make a muckle." It is an undeniable truth. Great things do not explode into existence instantly, but are built from countless small, steady, and persistent actions. Just as a mighty river begins as a small stream, with each drop of water patiently merging into the larger flow, so too do our goals. So why wait for one day to start changing? Change does not demand that you perform miracles immediately. It simply asks you to start. Imagine you want to read more books in 2025. Do not place the expectation of finishing one book a week, as such pressure can quickly turn into disappointment when you fail to achieve it. Instead, start small. Read one page a day. One page may not seem like much, but with persistence you will complete a book in a few months. These small actions become the foundation of a larger, long-lasting habit. As James Clear wrote in Atomic Habits, "Small habits don't add up, they compound." That's the power of atomic habits. Tiny changes, remarkable results. What the Stoics teach is not to immediately pursue grand achievements, but to focus on what can be done now. Simplify every goal. Want to cultivate calmness? Spend 2 minutes a day sitting quietly and breathing. Want to improve your health? Start with 5 minutes of movement each morning. Want to write more? Don't force yourself to finish a long essay. Just write 100 words a day. Do not underestimate small things, because a tiny seed, when planted in the ground and cared for properly, will grow into a sturdy tree. More important than anything else is that each small step you take creates momentum and confidence. When you accomplish simple, manageable tasks, you are creating small victories. These victories not only bring satisfaction but also build sustainable growth. The secret to practicing the start small habit lies in patience and focus. Don't rush toward distant ambitions or exhaust yourself by comparing yourself to others. You only need to look at the present and ask, what can I do right now to move forward, even just a little bit? The answer can be as simple as a heartfelt thank you, a minute of focus, or an act of helping someone. When you can conquer the small things, the big things will naturally come to you as an inevitable result. Conclusion. We have explored 10 Stoic habits to practice in 2025, subtle yet powerful principles that help you live a life of self-control, calmness, and resilience. These habits are not just distant philosophical advice, but practical guidelines for training your mind, managing emotions, and building the best version of yourself. Let me know in the comments which habit resonates with you the most. How have you applied or plan to apply these habits in your life? I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, don't forget to hit like to support our spirit. Share this video with friends who might need guidance and strength in the new year. And especially, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any exciting videos coming up. Wishing you a peaceful, confident, and resilient 2025 as you embark on your journey of self-improvement. Live like a true Stoic. Wishing you all success, and see you in the next video.